3, 2.
Who are you? Been a while since I've been called much of anything, but back in the Withy window, folk used to call me
Zeitgeist Zealots. Hey everyone, welcome to Zeitgeist Zealots. I'm Forrest.
I'm Major.
I'm Robbie.
And I'm Tip.
And today we're talking about Rings of Power, Season 2, Episode 4, the Tom Bombadil episode. What was it called? Eldest? Was that the official name?
Mm-hmm.
Eldest. Okay. The boss battles in this episode were pretty easy, though, compared to
Well,
Elden
when
Ring.
you've got unkillable characters like Isildur.
We're gonna follow Galadriel.
Is that how people are gonna pronounce things the whole time?
Numenor.
It's pretty distracting.
Morgoth. Sauron.
Oh, please stop that.
Sorry. So anyway.
That elf, Aaron
Well,
Deer.
I'm pretty sure Arondir can be killed because he was created for the show, right?
Yes, he can
So
be
no
killed,
one-
but he's third legless. He's not. He just went through that monster. We'll get into it when we break down the episode. First, guys, got some news I wanted to go over with you, if that's all right. And if not, we've got time code, so just skip down ahead. But guys, Josh Brolin has been selected to be the new Green Lantern in HBO series.
I think that's still. I don't think it's official yet. I think it's just rumored.
Super
But
rumored.
they want an older, gruffer.
He's going to be,
nonsense Hal
I
Jordan.
think, Hal Jordan, yeah.
Yeah, and then.
But it's rumored, wink, wink. It's that one excellent choice. I
mean,
think.
well, let's remember Josh Brolin's last venture in the DC universe, playing Jonah Hex, and how well that went. And I don't know if he
Not
even
great.
wants to do it because hopefully Ryan Reynolds is going to court him to play Cable again.
He
So I
can do
mean,
both,
he
I'm
might
sure.
just be. Yeah, but I mean, should he? I figure all right, let's look at it this way. Deadpool and Wolverine just made over $1 billion. So
Yeah.
like, what do you think is going to be like the more?
But he was
Yeah,
Thanos
like-
and Cable at the same time. Like he's
Yeah.
done
Yeah, but he
multiple
was-
roles.
Yeah, but I think he was like doing like Thanos, like, I guess he had a busy schedule that year, but he did Thanos like CGI, or what was the word, motion capture.
Mm-hmm.
And they probably do that before like principal photography. Because I don't think he was like they were actually on set with Tony Stark when he stabbed him. Was he?
You don't think so?
I don't think so. I mean, I haven't seen that footage. I imagine they just like filmed his scenes with him by himself. I mean, maybe with some like stand-ins.
Someone
but
with a giant Thanos head attached
Yeah.
to their body
So,
somehow.
I'm sure like if he was literally able to do both roles, he probably had some time in between them. So, but I don't know. I'd rather them do like a younger Hal Jordan, like from the comics. But I'm just not going to dwell on it. They're going to do their own thing. So
We'll see how it is. See how the casting goes. And less exciting.
let's not get mad about it until they actually announce something.
I'm not mad about it if this was the truth. What I'm also not mad about is Chris Pratt coming back for Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars. He's signed on a 2-picture deal. And then, speaking of the number 2, it's also
You gotta take a
rumored
dump.
that
You gotta take a poop break, that's fine.
speaking of taking a dump, Hawkeye season 2 is now in development. So suck it, the Acolyte. It feels personal. It feels real personal that they've.
I'm waiting for some good news. This is all just depressing news.
You want some good news? For those who
Yeah,
are chronically online, they might or might not be aware of the legendary character Nikocado Avocado. Shout out to my boy who lost 250 pounds. This is your wake-up call to go to the gym, boys. And something that he calls in a video he called, 2 Steps Ahead? He's apparently just been...
I saw part of that.
Apparently he had just
I
a
don't really know
massive
who that was.
backstory. You know who he was? Oh, if you go look at like Vsauce or V2, has an excellent video that kind of covers like the rise and fall of Nikocado Avocado. But everyone, he was just like mukbanger. Forrest, do you know what that is? Or Tip, do you know what that is?
Mukbanger?
Yeah, do you know? If I said I did mukbang on YouTube, you know what that means?
Put up that clip from Futurama with the neutral guy going, "I have no strong feelings one way or the other."
No.
Like,
You don't care this. Well, you don't know who he is.
I don't know.
Why would you care
don't
about
know.
the 250? Why would you care about his weight loss?
I mean, I think like the cynic in me like wants to see him like gain it all back, and then lose again. Like the rise, the fall, then the rise, and
You want a sequel? That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, but good for him. I mean, that's awesome. He's choosing to, improve himself and probably extend his life. Does he have like wife and kids?
He had a partner. This is fucked up. He had a boyfriend that was skinny with him, and then got fat with him during his rise on YouTube, eating all this food. That's what a mukbang is, by the way. It's just ordering way too much fucking food and eating it all. So and then they broke up. So I think it's super fucked up that he lost all the weight. So he just like got this guy fat, left him, and then got skinny. It's kind of
sometimes when you're in a relationship, there's less inclination to exercise because, well, I already have a partner. Like, if they're not gonna take care of themselves, I'm not gonna take care of myself.
Right.
Who do I have to impress? Good for him.
Yeah. The only person you really have to impress is Tom Bombadil, who was here before the river and the trees and will be judging your bitch ass long after you're dead.
He seemed pretty unimpressed with Gandalf. He's just like, you fell into my tree trap.
Yes, you dumbass. I was like, what is this, Harry Potter? All right, you want to break down? That's all the news I had. Let's go ahead and dive.
I don't. All I remember is the desert part where they're, Gandalf loses the. I totally forgot that they got separated. That's how unimpressive the previous episode. It was like 2 episodes ago, right? When we didn't see them last episode, the hobbits and the sort of Gandalf.
Harfoots, yeah, and the not Gandalf. Do you remember how they got separated?
Then
they had
there
that
was that
stupid
storm.
No idea.
They had that
no
storm.
Idea. Completely forgot.
He caused that sandstorm.
And then they came back.
They go to see the Stewards.
The Stores?
Who are the desert hobbits?
Basically.
Let's just go ahead and get through this hobbit stuff.
And long lost friends? Absolutely. So let's I don't know why you're focusing on the lamest parts of that storyline. Let's just talk about Tom Bombadil for a second. Did you care about? Anyone comment down below? Was that exciting for you, or are you really pissed off that they were touching Tom? I thought the writing was
all the wrong places.
I thought the writing was pretty tongue in cheek, but go on. What do you mean by that?
Like I think in court they're just gonna in court be like, Tom, show us on the doll where the writers touched you.
Nowhere. They barely touched him at all. What's his name?
They shouldn't have touched Tom.
What's his name?
And also his wife Goldberry might or might not exist. That was kind of weird.
Right? Yeah, I was like, is she a bird?
From the women who wash all the clothes to the hunter who arrows the bows, the chatter all over the palace is that your Prince Eric is gonna propose.
What's the point of this? Like, what's the point of this? Like, either she's there or she's not. I get like they're trying so hard to make this character mysterious and just failing, like falling flat in their face. Like, he didn't come off as mysterious. He just came off as just sort of like, okay, he's just like withholding information. And then suddenly he's like espousing information, like important expository information. Like, you're not the only Istar that's been by my fire. And he's like, is he going to team up with Sauron? He's like, probably. So like he's like being mysterious 1 second, then like very, very informative the next second. So it was like very clumsily done. So I think the actor, I know I've seen him. He was the actor. He was in the episode Black Mirror where he fucks the pig.
Oh,
so that was a better role. That was a better role than this one.
It probably had more backstory written, but there were some parts that I thought the writing wasn't. Like, it was tongue in cheek, like the fact that not Gandalf wanted to know more about Tom Bombadil, and he was like, "Hey man, all I got's a name. What more do you want?" And it's like it's kind of clever because we don't really know anything. Like, Tolkien didn't really write anything about him besides like his name. There's like a little bit of details here and there, but there's really no backstory whatsoever. So it's like
just making it up,
right? Oh, they're like, we're not gonna touch this. He's the Yoda of Lord of the Rings. Basically, there's this mysterious character where you better not fucking mess with his backstory too much.
He's sort of like the Johnny Appleseed of the Tolkien legendarium. He was never meant to be taken as like a serious character, or like a very important character. He was kind of like, because there's like the Tales of Tom Bombadil, which are like sort of like just folk tales set in Middle Earth. So it's kind of like dumb that they're trying to make him like Gandalf's mentor when he was basically just meant to be like a just a sort of like a fairy tale character in this fantasy world. But yeah, I don't know. I think the actor did what he could. He's not a bad actor, but I was just like, yeah, they're calling him Tom Bombadil, but it's Tom Bombadil in name only. So,
So big thumbs down from Forrest. Not impressed at all.
I can only imagine what. Matt
well,
would
we're basically we
All right,
basically
Matt.
learned that the Dark Wizard is, everyone calls him the Dark Wizard, by the way, which is weird. He's basically Sauron. I mean, it's pretty much given at this point.
Not Saruman.
Not Saruman.
Mm-hmm. And his mask guy.
Sorry, no,
he's going
Saruman.
after-
Saruman, not Saruman.
I just call him not Saruman.
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry,
Saruman.
sorry, not Saruman.
They could still be the Blue Wizards. Like they're just like the writers are probably
They're
like, well, we
definitely-
don't know anything about them.
They're
I'll
definitely
make
the
one
Blue Wizards.
I'll make them. Okay, we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see.
There's also that theory that this is all taking place in the Third Age.
Dun dun dun.
That would also be done because Saruman wasn't evil then.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Hobbits got captured by the Stores.
Mm-hmm. Some long lost brothers. Oh, what a coincidence! Good thing they carried that name the whole time. Good thing there was no coups going on in the Harfoots.
Good thing they what's his name? What's the guy's name? Burrows.
Yeah,
Sag
Burrows.
Sadik Burrows. Good thing he didn't change his last name, or
right? Yeah.
His ancestor only had daughters, and that name would have died out.
And then
Otherwise, they would
be screwed.
What were they thinking? They were just gonna banish them. They were just gonna kick them out, right? Or were they gonna kill them?
Are you talking about when the dad's ankle got broke?
No, they're tied up.
I'm
not. What's gonna do?
I'm not sure. That's a good question. They never really elaborate.
I think they were just gonna let him go. So it was just there was no consequences. It was like, okay, we didn't even know about this place. You're gonna kick us out. Okay, that's fine.
They mentioned the Suzat, which is just the Shire.
Shire.
Yeah,
The Shire.
she led not Frodo over when they started walking together in the nighttime scene. I was like, oh, here comes a little exposition dump. I know it's coming. And then she shows this big old fucking mural, and you're like, oh yeah, let's go.
This is all so interesting. We're gonna find out how the hobbits founded the Shire. Wow, I can't fucking wait. Like the least interesting part in Middle Earth, until Saruman invaded it at the end of Return of the King.
Probably the best part.
As Sharky, which is that reminds you of that Burt Reynolds movie. You ever see Sharky's Machine?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it's like a Burt Reynolds movie where he's in the Vice Squad at the Atlanta Police Department. And it's just strange that I think I saw that movie before I found out that Saruman was calling himself Sharky. Did Saruman join the Atlanta Police Department as a vice?
No, he became a Jets.
West
Side Story, Shark and the Jets. But what doesn't make any sense. So, at the end of the little Harfoot plot, the
Suzat.
Not the Suzat's the long
the
goal.
Suzat plot.
Right, the Shire. The masked man with the cool goggles the costume doesn't belong to Middle Earth at all. Very cool looking. But what a punk. So he comes up on the stores and he's like, have you guys seen the Harfoots? And she's like, no, and I'm not going to tell you where they are. And he's like, you want to know how I got these scars?
You want to know how I got these scars?
I mean, you want to know why we wear these masks? Well, I'm going to go get my dad and we'll be back. And then I'll tell you why I wear this mask. Dumb. Bad writing.
We can't tell you. We can't tell you this episode.
You're a giant, regular sized person. You probably could. Between the two of you, probably just take out the whole, all the stores if you really wanted to. That was a big sword you were swinging around there.
Apparently, anyone can walk in. It's very easy to invade this camp. I mean, they're apparently supposed to be hidden.
Not very well.
And their dumbest, the village idiot just led Poppy and I forgot her name, the main one. You
Yeah.
just let him straight to the let him straight to the thing, and like the other guys just walk right in. It's like, there's like no like gate or something, or at least someone like manning the entrance to the caves.
Yeah, they're hobbits, little halflings. They're not sophisticated like that, but they do need like someone watching. They do need like a watchman.
Just be like,
I would
yeah,
expect
like
that.
like, or at least like someone to watch the gate. Like, hey, there's like these two armed guys coming up in masks. Maybe we should all fucking hide.
Whoa, let's get out of here.
Yeah. So, also, I think the Poppy and what's the guy Merrimack romance is that's being forced. So some Hobbit loving going on.
Yeah, dude, and she's like 12 on the show or whatever. She looks 12. It's like just weird.
Creepy. I don't know.
The guy's hair looks like he just got electrocuted. It's a really fun.
He looks like
must be a fun wig.
he looks. What are those troll dolls called?
He does look just trolls. That is a troll dog. That's exactly what it looks like. The troll's hair. That's so funny. You know who's got great hair, and that's Theo, which is probably half the reason why we gotta go find him.
I thought he got kidnapped by that troll.
Apparently, he got kidnapped by a tree, and then just held into a tree nest with some Southlanders.
What was their fucking plan? Like, were they just gonna like have them hang out in the tree and just like put them on trial, or just like, what was the purpose of that?
Could not tell you at
like,
all.
If you like hate humans for like chopping down trees, I think you would just kill them. Like just holding them up in in another tree that they're probably gonna have to like
they're gonna cut that down to rescue them.
Yeah, so
put more trees in harm's way. I do want to give a shout out to the Southlanders though. Last year they were a bunch of xenophobic, racist bigots who hated elves, and now Arendir's leading all of them. So look, they're really turning that around real quick.
Those are the new. Oh, yeah, that's true. I guess the Numenorians also hated elves.
The Numenorians also hate elves, yeah.
And that was also I guess the ending of the last episode was like, who's the queen, the queen regent,
the blind queen. Yeah.
She had like that elf ball. She was touching that elf ball.
The Palantir.
And like Elendil's daughter, the turncoat bitch, exposed her. Amazing, the thing didn't break. So, and then like what's his face? Discount Karl Marx.
Got a
Forrest.
Got a bird.
Yeah, I stole that Discount Karl Marx line I think from Critical Drinker or someone.
Well,
yeah, so because someone online is gonna comment below like you stole that joke.
That's a terrible nickname. So for the record, Forrest steals all of his references. I mean, I guess they're references, so they're stolen by definition. Forrest steals all of his jokes.
Way more funnier YouTubers than me.
I doubt that, Forrest.
I'm discount Critical Drinker, I guess.
But look,
so you never put yourself out there.
Here's what I don't understand. There's no tension for Isildur in his life.
Isildur, son of the king, took up his father's sword.
If any fan is watching this, and that's gotta be the only people left watching this are the fans of Lord of the Rings, they've seen the first 10 minutes of the Fellowship of the Ring. They know Isildur is going to be fine. He's going to live. He's got to cut off Sauron's ring finger. Him falling in the bog.
And then come back to life.
Perhaps he might pull a Jon Snow, but at the end of the day, he's still coming back to life. I mean, he's still alive.
Yeah, it's like putting him in danger. It's just kind of dumb at this point.
Right. And then like the bog, or it just reminded me of the horse from the Neverending Story.
What they should do is surprise everyone and just kill him, and then change the whole canon and just fuck everyone up.
But hey,
they've already pissed off the
fans
fan enough. They're just like, we don't give a shit this point.
Do you think?
Just go all in. Let's go.
Do you think they're gonna win some fans back with the Ents appearing this episode? That was a fun.
Have you ever harmed wood in life?
Mm-hmm.
You're like, well, It's like, well, they weren't alive when I killed them.
I mean, the tree fell.
The Ents should have like some nuance about that. Like, if the tree wasn't fucking alive, don't
right.
shit.
But she's also a woman tree and in mourning, right? She's all of her other tree friends are dead. So she doesn't really care right now about the nuance, Forrest.
Literally,
she's looking for blood.
My understanding was that trees are not Ents. They're two separate species.
That's correct.
Like one's
but I use them.
sentient,
I'm
the
gonna
other
use
one's
them. I'm gonna replace them all the time. You just have to use context to get over it. You, the listener at home. But
yeah,
I like the pissed off Ents and call back to the Two Towers. They were pissed off for the same reason they got pissed off last time, and that's the orcs were killing the trees or the Ents too.
Ents are pretty dumb. I mean, he literally thought 2 hobbits were orcs, and they literally had to have like 8.
Dumb.
They had to they had to have like a fucking 12-hour conference before they're like, we have decided.
You're talking about Treebeard? Yeah, but
that is pretty dumb. Maybe they are dumb.
Weren't Pippin and Merry dressed like orcs to escape from somewhere?
No, they were dressed like hobbits.
Okay.
Yeah, they undressed. No, they were. No, you're wrong.
Frodo and Sam were dressed as
you're right.
orcs. They were in Mordor.
Yeah, sorry. All hobbits look alike. I apologize.
Whoa!
Not Harfoots, just hobbits. I can say that.
Whoa!
Every hobbit's white from Lord of the Rings.
I thought it was a store. Okay. Yeah. So what was that? What was the ending of that? I guess the ending of the Isildur plot was they got eaten or they got pulled in by that weird grub thing.
Yeah, the nameless monster. And I was like,
what was that thing? It's like there's some things that are nameless, so basically the writers couldn't think of anything, or it's not referenced.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, you guys made it up. At least you had the decency not to fucking name a creature you added
to create
into the lore like that. At least you had a little bit of respect. But we call it dinner, and I was like, oh, look, a little Marvel line. Who let a Marvel writer into this series?
What was that?
There are nameless things in the deep places of this world. This one we shall call supper.
I feel like the writing community is incestuous.
Oh, for sure. Everyone shares each other's ideas. They all, I'm sure, hang out at the same 5 Starbucks. They've got to be like overhearing each other talk about it or just talking to each other about it.
Yeah, who doesn't like that Starbucks?
So they went like full Men in Black, and he just cut himself out of the monster.
I must cut through it from the inside.
Huh? No, Pratt! Wait a minute! Pratt!
And they're perfectly fine. I guess they didn't get digested right away. And also, what's her name?
Estrid.
Girl at Isildur has the hot for. Yeah, she has a boyfriend. So that's Isildur was like, oh.
Oh yeah, but you know that guy's not gonna last long.
That like even his queen in the lore. Is that Isildur's wife Estrid?
That's what we would need Matt for.
Just be
Zeitgeist zealots.
If I found myself getting sick, I would simply say, "Sickness be gone!"
We need some more steel lore.
Because
more lore for Isildur. More lore for Isildur. I can see like some SAG-AFTRA writers chanting that.
That's my contribution for today.
Do you want more writing for Galadriel being placed under Elrond? This is a dynamic I quite enjoy. She is just not enjoying not being in charge whatsoever. But Elrond, oh boy, does Elrond hate that ring. For a good point. Right? For a really good purpose, right? I don't know, if you had a compass and it was made by Hitler, you'd be like, is that really bringing us down the right places?
They should have
I like that. I like that.
Thank you.
They should have called this episode Galadriel was right. Or Galadriel is always right, because she's right about not going to was the
Don't go south.
Southland.
Yeah, don't go south.
The Bear Whites, and she was right about the orcs going to Celebrimbor. I don't know. I mean, I guess Celebrimbor. I guess Elrond was right. They need to get the Celebrimbor faster than later. And he doesn't trust the rings because they're created by Sauron. So I guess he does have some legitimate.
He has some value. Absolutely. No, you should definitely be very skeptical and cautious of that ring. I do like how in the end,
100%, dude.
Galadriel stays behind to buy off the rest of the elven men sometimes so they can escape, and then one of the elves is like, she's so heroic, she's sacrificing her life for us, and then Elrond's like, no, she's not, dude. She's not defending us. She's defending the ring. And I was like, dude, you're so bitter. You're so fucking bitter. It's like he was in love with Galadriel, and then Galadriel chose the ring over him, and now he's just like a bitter ex or something. He's probably not wrong, but I just thought it was funny.
That is a hard burn right there.
Yeah, I just that line just stood out to me.
When you're rejected for jewelry, yeah, that could probably.
Yeah. But what about the Barrow Rights? That's a nice little almost reference, an homage to Return of the Kings when they get the dead people back. Except those were really green and epic in design. Well,
the Barrow-wights apparently were in that chapter in the Fellowship of the Ring with Tom Bombadil, so it was interesting that they were both in this episode.
It sounds like someone almost read a chapter.
Yeah, so it was like, okay, all right, Rings of Power, you got something right. At least the Barrow-wights and Tom Bombadil are in the,
same episode.
The same proximity, yeah. So, still done a great show, but I guess you have to kill them with their own weapons. Is that part of the lore? I doubt it.
So there's this awkward line where I think Elrond's just like, "Oh, our weapons are no use against them," and then later on, it's like we have to use their weapons, and you're like, "Oh, that's almost like Chekhov's. I need a better weapon," but it's not quite great writing, not quite good writing, but I can see that they're at least trying this season. I don't think the skills are there, but at least it's not just... Guys, no one needs to remember how bad the first season was, but the first season was just atrociously bad. This is at least watchable.
Well, this episode was more watchable because there was no dwarf. The dwarves were absent, which is the weakest, I think, storyline this season. Or pretty much the entire show. The dwarves are just... I just do not care about Durin or his wife or his daddy issues, or the fact that they can't get sunlight to come in through the mine unless they sing their magic bullshit song.
Develop a pool system, guys.
That was an improvement. The fact that they weren't there, but of the four main storylines going on, that one was.
It's pretty weak. 5. There's so many. Like I was talking about last episode. There's so many storylines. It's so slow and a little bit boring.
Also, the Numenorians were also absent from this. We all know that Pharazôn's going to become the king, and we know that eventually Anatar is going to be either captured or go to Numenor, and he's going to They're going to start sacrificing people to Morgoth. I think they crucify them or something.
Spoilers for season 3.
Well, if we're lucky, that won't happen. Hopefully, Bezos will like come to his senses, or at least fire the showrunners. I don't know, but I don't think season 3's been, because they announced season 2 before season 1 was over, right? Mm-hmm. Season 1 was. I don't think that's the case. I think it's like Halo got quietly canceled, so I think Paramount waited out until season 2 was done.
They probably learned, because when you have a failing TV show and then you cancel the next season before that season's over, the viewership just drops off. We stop watching. We stop covering the show. We're like, oh, they're not even. I'm not even fucking. See, even look, it's not even worth finishing that sentence. That's how much of an incentive it is to just quit.
But the fact they haven't renewed it yet.
I think they got 5 seasons, buddy. I think they bought the 5 seasons at the very beginning.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Amazon can.
They could pull the plug at any time, right?
Well, you gotta know the ratings have dropped significantly from last season.
Mm-hmm.
And first season was already the reviews are mixed. The reviews are also mixed, and the viewership numbers are even lower. So I mean, Bezos is gonna pull the plug on this if it's not profitable. That's just business. It doesn't matter if they have like 5.
Well, not really. I mean, they lose like I think $10 or $11 per Amazon Prime membership, just based on like all the membership benefits or whatever. I mean, it's a net gain overall because you spend all that extra money on Amazon. I think it's like what $1,400 for an average customer.
People who are getting Prime just to watch this are like not just people have Prime just for like delivery stuff.
Right.
I don't think they have Prime just for Rings of Power.
Well,
or for the other Prime videos or shows or movies. So.
Yeah, no one's, I don't think anyone in the States is getting, but Amazon Prime is worldwide, and so is Lord of the Rings. I mean, it was translated in over like 60 different languages or something like that. So there might be like a big international market. I am honestly not sure.
We'll just see how the numbers pan out.
Yeah, but it's also they've already spent $1 billion on it. I mean, what is that?
They spent $1 billion on these seasons. They haven't I don't think they've done like any pre-production for the next season at all. I think they're just going to hold off and see how this season performs because this is a very expensive show. If it's not profitable and it's not like worth the cost, then they're going to pull the plug.
We'll see.
At the very least, I know. Yeah,
I mean, they didn't do that for last season. Last season wasn't profitable. Only 37% of the customers finished it.
Well, they renewed it before it was even over. So they just assumed it was going to be a big hit. They're just like, it was too big to, they thought it was too big to fail.
I think this is like an ego thing. I think this might turn into an ego thing for Bezos.
I think my prediction is this season, like if the numbers don't improve or if they're like just get worse this season, he's going to I think he's going to fire the showrunners, get new ones, then renew.
How'd they even become showrunners? They've never had a writing credit to their name, and they got handed one of the largest franchises.
They wrote the original script for Star Trek Beyond, which got, I guess, thrown out, and then Simon Pegg wrote the script, and that movie even still turned out to be, mediocre.
Yeah, not
But
good.
what's funny, like J.J. Abrams is the one who vouched for them, or suggested them to Bezos, so he's ruined 3 franchises. Or we've already discussed this last.
Yeah, and we'll continue to discuss how J.J. Abrams continues to ruin franchises time and time again. Yeah. Yes,
he's trying to I think he tried to ruin DC, but I think they learned their lesson not to let him, have any creative control.
Please, James Gunn's gonna do that himself. Don't you worry.
Yeah, so I think we covered everything in this episode. I'm guessing the Ents there's gonna be a big battle either at the end of the season or
it's
the Ents versus the Trolls. Although it doesn't matter because Mordor is not going to fall this season. Oh yeah, we forgot Adar captured Galadriel, so he was sort of like, oh, how the turntables.
So there's like one of the elves gets shot with an arrow, and you're like, oh no, like we're under attack, and then luckily the elves are so smart and wise that even though one of them got shot in the chest, they're like, hold on, maybe we're not under attack.
Also, the ring has like plot powers.
The ring lets her. She force healed. She's a little Jedi now. She force healed.
She can heal.
That elf.
It helps her see the future. It helps her, heal. It helps her, I guess, improve her reflexes so she can like take on an entire army of orcs by herself. So it's just like the ring is just like bullshit magic powers with like no weaknesses at all.
It began with the forging of the great rings. 3 were given to the elves, immortal, wisest, and fairest of all beings.
Oh, sounds like a good ring.
Because, Hollywood hates,
Pretty OP right there.
Yeah, I picked that up in Diablo, that's for sure.
Hollywood loves OP characters.
And jewelry.
The Gil-galad, definitely. Also, I read that was actually defeated by Gil-galad and Elendil, and it wasn't Isildur.
Who?
Or, I don't know. Isildur, I cut off his hand. The Elf King and his dad, they're the ones who actually killed Sauron, I think.
Right, Isildur is just cuts off the ring and takes it to Mordor, and then Elrond's like, throw it in the fire, and he's like, nah, bitch. And then Elrond does literally nothing. Could have just drop kicked that man into the fucking lava, and then we wouldn't have Lord of the Rings.
He didn't want to start a civil war because he was the king of Gondor at the time.
I would have just been like, he slipped in. He slipped. No one's there. No one sees anything. It's not like an all-seeing eye.
I know men are dumber than elves, but they're not that dumb. I think they would like figure it out. Yeah. Like he was fine when he went in there. Like what happened? He's like, oh, he slipped, and he's like, yeah, bullshit. We're gonna take out all the elves.
As opposed
remember,
to
the men already hate elves.
He should just been like, Isildur, I was putting the ring on, Isildur bit my finger, and then he fell right into the lava. That's what Gollum did.
Damn it.
I think we covered this show as best
That's
we could.
it,
This
yeah.
episode as best we could.
Nice, brisk episode. Hopefully as entertaining as this. Was it all member berries? Is this what we're going to do? Or is it going to be Ents and borrow rights and like... I don't know. Something says we're going to get some kind of Aragorn reference here, even though this is like a age difference, or maybe it's not according to Forrest.
Yeah, because I forgot. We gotta see Sauron and Celebrimbor. They gotta finish making the rings for the dwarves.
Mm-hmm. Which apparently there's 7 rings.
They really like established the 7 dwarf lores. Like they really could like flesh out these characters first season. They sort of fleshed out the ring bearers this last season, like Galadriel, Gil-galad, and was it Círdan, who has not come back this season.
Círdan?
So
the boat maker?
Yeah.
That's from this season.
The first episode. Then he hasn't come back. Yeah, but
yeah. Since his original appearance, yes, that's correct.
But like, we're just gonna like meet these 7 dwarf lords out of nowhere. We're like, don't know anything about them.
We'll
like,
know
could
one.
be like a civil. We know like during the 3rd. I guess during the 4th is gonna get one. We don't know about the other ones.
But do you want us to like pause and like have an exposition dump and like learn about the 6 other dwarf lords?
Considering how boring the current dwarf storyline is, like they could definitely use more characters and some more exposition in the dwarf.
Just more exciting things.
World, yeah.
Well, I would agree. And if you agree, comment down below. Let us know what you think about this episode of the podcast and of Rings of Power Nap. Episode 4. Did you like Tom Bombadil showing up, or is that getting a little bit too close to canon, that holy canon that shouldn't be touched? Let me know what you think. If you want to find us, hopefully you're watching us on YouTube and wherever you listen to your favorite podcast of choice. And then you can also find us on Instagram at Zeitgeist Zealots. Oh, YouTube at Zeitgeist Zealots as well. And then X and TikTok at Z Zealots Podcast. Thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks
you
for watching, listening, tuning in, subscribing, putting up with our shenanigans.
Yeah.
Have a great
It's been great.
rest of your day.